This is the Sixth Man Show, an Orlando Magic podcast, with your hosts, Kevin Tucker and Jonathan Osborne, covering all things Magic basketball. By fans, for fans. Go Magic!
What's going on, Orlando Magic fans? You guys are back with the Sixth Man Show. Today is February 26, 2026. Jonathan Osborne here. As always, I am joined by my co-host, Kevin Tucker. Kevin, how are you, my friend? What's going on?
Yo, I'm doing great. Feeling good. The Magic are looking better. You know, what a road trip. That's going to be fun to talk about. But yeah, things are looking up right now. How are you?
I'm very conflicted. I know we're going to talk about this. I know we've talked about how our hope and our belief in this team has gone to the wayside, and they're going to have to earn it back, and you know, this, that, and the third. But every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in. I don't know. We were talking with Christian about it today in our chat, and I said, you know, like I feel it's feeling pretty good, but like I won't let my hopes like get all the way back up there just yet. Like there are a lot of good signs. We're gonna talk about all of it. Obviously, the Magic have won the last couple in a row. They won both of the LA double, as Kev likes to call it. Both big wins, both games I swore as the ball was in the air, as the buzzer sounded, that we were going to lose each of those games, and we escaped LA with 2 wins. So really happy about that. Like you mentioned, we'll talk about the road trip and all of that kind of stuff. But real quick, just a couple of quick housekeeping things. We do have a watch party coming up on March 7th. It is a Saturday. That game is going to be over at Stadium Club, which is located in the Caribe Royal Orlando Resort. That's 8101 World Center Drive in Orlando. The Magic are taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves that day at 3 o'clock, so it's a little bit of an early one, which will be nice. The watch party is going to get going at 2:30, and I'm bringing my kiddos. I'm bringing all 3 of the little ones with me. With this, you know, being like definitely not necessarily that other watch parties that we've been at aren't family friendly. Like we were just at the Castle. That was a very family friendly, but this is definitely one of the more family friendly venues that we have watch parties at. So that, and plus with it being an earlier start. Exactly. Yeah. So maybe you've got little ones and you're trying to get them into the Orlando Magic the way that I am with my kids. So I think this is a great opportunity to come out. We're really trying to pack the house. If you have not been to a watch party at Stadium Club yet, it's definitely one of our favorite, one of the best venues that we host watch parties at with the Orlando Magic. Obviously, the Caribe Royal Orlando Resort is absolutely beautiful. And Stadium Club is basically located in their lobby. It's brand new, just opened up last year. Tons of TVs everywhere. The 360 bar, the 360 TVs all the way around the restaurant there. They've got the sports simulator bays as well. So if you want to reserve one of those while you're watching the game, you can have some fun, whether it's football, golf, all that kind of stuff. It's a great time. And the food is absolutely fantastic. Let me just add that as well. So if you haven't been to one of the watch parties at Stadium Club, you don't want to miss this one. There will be an RSVP link in the YouTube description as well as the show notes if you're listening on audio. So be sure, if you want to come, make sure that you get on RSVP so that they can be appropriately staffed and prepared for the watch party. But looking forward to that. Always going to be fun, and I'm just excited to bring the kids out to one of these and they can kind of see Dad in his element.
Yeah, and hopefully this result is less heartbreaking than the last watch party result, because you know we just had one on Saturday with that Phoenix game, double overtime buzzer beater loss. But you know it's funny. I was thinking about it, Jonathan. I'm like 99% sure that we had a watch party last year at Stadium Club that was also in Minnesota. The game was in Minnesota. I'm pretty correct. Sure. So it's 2 years in a row. The Magic did not win that one last year.
I was going to say,
I remember that.
That one went well.
It actually went very poorly. So looking for a little redemption.
And but again, the one we had against the Celtics also went very poorly as well.
But we need to remind everyone, our win-loss record at watch parties is still pretty stellar. And so
Yeah.
come join some fellow Magic fans, hang out, watch hopefully a Magic win. And that's a big weekend. That's a back-to-back. That's the first game of a back-to-back. So definitely come join a bunch of other Magic fans at Stadium Club.
And we've been talking about it the last couple of weeks here, but our Court of Dreams group night, which is going to be April 1st, believe that is a Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. Pulling that up here. Yeah, it's a Wednesday, April 1st, April Fool's Day, but this is not an April Fool's prank. This is for real. That night when the Magic take on the Atlanta Hawks on ESPN, quite a few of us are going to be at that game cheering on the Magic. But earlier in the day, from 1:30 to 3, we're going to be playing pickup basketball on the Kia Center floor, shooting some hoops there. So if you purchase a ticket to our group night, and if you're one of the first 60, you'll get access to that Court of Dreams. And at the time of this recording, which is just before 10 o'clock on Wednesday night, I think we have like 13 or 14 of those 60 still available. So if you're listening, you want to get yours, you haven't done that just yet, you can go to gofivo.com/events/sixthman22. That's sixth man spelled out. Again, that link will be in the podcast description and in the show notes as well. And we're just about like 5 weeks away from that right now. So those tickets, like we said, those are going pretty quick. Looking forward to that. It's always such a great time. Everybody, I've had some people reach out and tell me that they've purchased tickets to that. Everybody's super stoked for that.
Yeah, absolutely. For a lot of people, that's a once in a lifetime, or at the very least, if you've done it with us the last few years, once a year type of opportunity. And honestly, it's for what it is. It's very affordable. Like when you consider
100%.
like the cost of the ticket plus the cost of the experience, it's very affordable. We don't see a dime from this, by the way. That's the other thing. Like this is not something we're in for the money. This is just we are in for it to help Magic fans have a really cool experience. So I think it's a great deal. It's pretty cool. So if you haven't already and you're interested, now is your time. Like guaranteed I can't guarantee it, but almost guaranteed this won't make it till our next episode on Monday. So if you're like even on the fence about it, now's the time to grab your tickets. And hope everybody can make it.
Yeah, I think the tickets on average for this have been going around like 120.
121,
which if you look where the seats are, on average, like most games, that's what the seats go for by themselves.
Right.
So even if you want to say, oh, the game ticket's only, probably $100 or $90 of that. So you're paying $20 or $30 for the opportunity to play on the Kia Center floor. Like,
right.
When you kind of break it down that way. So definitely a great deal. We try to keep it as like affordable as we possibly can. It's really important to us that people have the opportunity to do this, and like sharing this experience, like it is just a kind of a way for us to say thank you and to thank the community. So go get your tickets for that. It's going to be a great time. And now this episode is brought to you by Emil Kalidev, Jacob Swish, Mama Richmond, Dylan Fay, and Christopher Dees. These are some of our Hall of Fame and elite tier patrons. They went to patreon.com/the Six Man Show and selected the tier that worked best for them. Each and every episode, we give a special shout out to some of our Hall of Fame and elite tier patrons for helping make each and every episode possible. And we also give brand new patrons a special shout out as well. Whenever we have brand new patrons, we give them their own special shout out. We can't do anything that we do here without the support of our patrons. Kevin and I, you all might not know this, but this is not like our job. We really do this like as a very serious passion project, I guess you would say. But one day we would like it if this was our job. And really the only way for us to do that, the only way that's probably going to be feasible for us is through the support of our patrons. So long-term, like sustainability of this show and this platform and everything that we do, if you appreciate that, if it brings you value, would really ask that you would just consider joining the Patreon. We try to make that, beneficial and bring a lot of value. For example, like when it comes to the Court of Dreams, our patrons were the ones that knew about that first and got the link first. We also have a Discord community with over 100 diehard Orlando Magic fans. So if you're looking for a chat 24 hours a day, all things Magic basketball with people that love and care about the team just the way that you do, I don't think there's any place on the internet better than our Discord. I say that humbly, but I really, really do believe that. So if you like what we do here, you want to help support, you want to take advantage of some of the benefits, head to patreon.com/the6man show. Every little bit helps. We appreciate you all so much. Okay, Kev, let's get down to business to defeat the Huns, like, from the movie Mulan. But really, we're not going to talk about the Huns. We're going to talk about the Orlando Magic and basketball from the last couple of days here. Just one game since the time that we recorded, but the Magic have won 6 out of their last 10. They've won 6 out of their last 8, as a matter of fact, as well. They've won 2 in a row, now sitting at 31-26. They are 7th in the Eastern Conference, but they are tied with the Philadelphia 76ers in the loss column. So with the Philadelphia 76ers loss and a Magic win, I believe that would push the Magic back into the 6th seed. The Magic right now are 11.5 games behind the Detroit Pistons. Sorry to break your heart, Kevin. The Magic will probably not be the 1 seed, at least not this year. They are 7 games behind Boston, 5 games behind New York and Cleveland, 2.5 games back of the Raptors, and then a half game back. They're tied in the loss column with the Philadelphia 76ers. They are 1 game up on the Heat. They are 3.5 games up on the Hawks, and they are 4 games up on the Charlotte Hornets. When we go and we take a look at how the Magic have fared over the course of the season, they are 16th in offensive rating for the year, so they have climbed out of the bottom 10, and they are 13th in defensive rating on the season, and they are 16th, so right in the middle of the pack in terms of overall net rating, with a positive net rating of 0.4. But as we do this time of year with Jamal Mosley coach teams who are always better after the All-Star break, we also take a quick, small snapshot at this point of how the team is performing since the All-Star break. Since the break, the Magic in 4 games, they are 3-1. They are 11th in the league in offensive rating with an offensive rating of 115.2. They are 5th in defensive rating with a defensive rating of 104.9. Doing all of this, by the way, without their best 2 defenders in Jalen Suggs and Franz Wagner. In overall net rating, they are 7th with a 10.3 positive net rating. So Magic playing really good basketball since the All-Star break. I know we're going to take a look back at the schedule, look at some of the teams they've played and beaten. Some of those are like, hey, you can only play who's on your schedule. I guess we'll put it that way. Taking a quick look at the injury report, Jalen Suggs is questionable for Thursday's game at home against the Rockets, which was being called back spasms. Is now the indication has changed to a back strain. I think when you're dealing with spasms for an extended period of time, they change the designation to a strain. And Franz, as we all know, is still out with the left high ankle sprain injury management soreness that he's been dealing with. I think at this point, Friday will be 1 week since the original update on that. So we'll have about 2 weeks, I think, from his reevaluation period.
It was a Wednesday. So
it was a Wednesday. You are right.
At a week now.
You're right. I was thinking of a day that I usually pick my daughter up from BPK, which is usually a Friday. Yeah. This time it was a Wednesday. So, okay. So we're a week now. So 2 weeks from now, he will at least be reevaluated. Now, we don't really know exactly what that means. Was it, trying to think, who did he talk to before the game? Was it Dante or was it Jeff that they showed the conversation with Franz on the, did you not see that?
I missed it. Nope.
Okay, so there was a conversation with one of it might have been Kendra. I really apologize. I'm completely blanking on this. Someone from the FanDuel Sports broadcast team talked with Franz before the game on Tuesday. And he was basically just saying, like, obviously, how frustrating it is, but wants to make sure that, he's able to fully heal, come back. And he ended the conversation by saying, hopefully do my part. That to me was like, it's not anything. I think it's something. It's definitely not nothing. When we talk about the possibility of maybe he just doesn't come back this year at all. And I'm in the mindset of like, I'm completely like over analyzing this, reading way too much into it. But my thing was like, well, Franz, if you're healthy, you're obviously going to do your part. So maybe it was like he has a question in his mind of if he is going to be healthy again at any point in this season to be able to contribute. again, I am probably reading far too much into that, but I did find that little tidbit interesting.
Yeah, I don't really hear it that way, but yeah, I mean, you never know.
I'm
like
glad.
We said, well, like we said, like I mean, we're in this window now where the season is less than 2 months away from being done. So we're talking about weeks of absence that could turn into the rest of the season. Like it's possible, but I'd like to think that wouldn't be the case. But yeah. Hopefully that's not what happens.
As we go through here, I'm going to try to go back and see if anybody has that full quote from Franz prior to. Okay, it was Dan Savage. Excuse me. Yeah, this is the quote Dan posted. He says, "Obviously, I want to be out there and help the team. We still have a lot of things in our own hands, and that's always a good thing. The main thing is to get healthy and then hopefully do my part." It was like just the way that he said that. I was like, I don't.
See, I
don't
take it as
love that.
take it as get healthy and then hopefully I can help this team. You know, like hopefully.
See, my thing, like it's
he's just
so
being humble,
obvious,
but he's just being
right.
humble.
Yeah, let's do that. I like that.
I'm not even joking. That's how I hear it. It's just like
hopefully
I can help
I
the
like
team.
that so much better, and that is a legitimate possibility and probably the most likely scenario if I'm being 100% honest. So
yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of where we are in terms of injuries. The Magic absolutely are playing better, over the last several games. If we just look at the last 8 game snapshot where the Magic are 6-2, they're 11th in offensive rating and they're 5th in defensive rating, 7th in net rating, just like they are, since the All-Star break. So, but yeah, it's encouraging to see the Magic, legitimately play better. Now, in that time, we can take a look at those last 8 games here. So they've beaten Brooklyn, Utah, barely, Milwaukee. They lost to Milwaukee. They shot the ball historically well, 27 threes against Sacramento. That game is absolutely boosting the offensive and defensive rating from that. They had the double overtime loss to the Bookerless, Brooksless Phoenix Suns. And then they beat the LA Clippers by 2 and the Lakers by 1. So, again, this is a small sample size. The Magic are playing better basketball, but some of this is definitely skewed. And you're who was it? Was it a Kawhi Leonard? Did Kawhi Leonard miss the 3? Who was that? Ben Mathurin. Yep, Ben Mathurin, as he fell to the ground, missed the 3. And then a LeBron James turnaround, fall away, tried to bank it in 3-pointer. You're those 2 shots away. Instead of being 6-2, now you're 4-4, and instead of being 3-1 on this road trip, you're 1-3. So there is Magic are playing better basketball, absolutely, but it's a very fine line of what we've been seeing recently.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth because I was going to ask, does your fancy machine there allow you to see what those numbers would be like if you take out the Kings game? Because I'm so curious how much the Kings game is inflating some of that. Okay. You might have to do.
Let me do, instead of post All-Star break, let me go to last 3.
Right.
And the Magic are they're 18th in offensive rating and they're 12th in defensive rating and 13th in net rating. So that Kings game is skewing pretty significantly.
Sure, but it's not like those numbers are horrendous though. Those
numbers are better than what we have seen. At least the offense. The defense is kind of right around. The defense was 24th for a good segment of the season there. So yeah, both sides of the basketball, the Magic. And we will talk about this, maybe more importantly, or equally as importantly, Paolo Banchero is playing better basketball.
Yeah, for me, the stats and all that, it's fine. For me, it's the optics, though. This team looks more like the Orlando Magic.
Yeah.
All the good and the bad that come with that. So the bad, obviously, the shooting is outside of the Kings game has been horrible. The offense in general hasn't been the most pleasing to watch, right? That's typical Magic basketball, for better or worse. But the good, though, this team is competing. This team is playing better defense. This team looks like they actually care. And those are some things that have just been trademarks of Jamal Mosley teams for, these, 5 seasons now, I think it's been. And so to see that again has been very encouraging. And then, the stats just come as they are, with that. So, very, very encouraging. And again, especially because it's tough to go out west and play well, right? I know these aren't necessarily all the best teams in the West, for sure, but the wins that you got on the road post All-Star break, I think it's definitely obviously a step in the right direction. The Six Man Show is brought to you by our friends at the Posit Group, who is your home team on and off the court. They are your Orlando real estate resource of choice. Not only are they the real estate sponsor of us here at the Six Man Show, they are the official real estate sponsor of the Orlando Magic this season. The Posit Group are the experts in real estate in Central Florida, and you will easily find out why they have over 1,700 five-star reviews if you reach out to them to either buy or sell your own home. And to get in contact with them, you can go to their website at pozek.com. That's pozek.com. Ken and his team, they are the experts. You may follow Ken and his work on social media, maybe not just the Posit Group, but Orlando Real. He posts all kinds of real estate content specifically about Central Florida on social media, on YouTube. And if you want to learn more about the real estate market in Central Florida, there's no better resource than Ken and his team. And his team is in the top 1% of sales in the United States. They outsell the competition by over 5 times. They are the best of the best. So again, whether you're looking to buy or sell a home in Central Florida, or maybe it's not you, maybe it's someone you know, a friend, family member, coworker, classmate, whoever, send them to the Posit Group. Again, pozek.com, pozek.com. And when you talk with Ken and his team, just let them know that the Six Man Show sent you.
This episode is also brought to you by Jam Hot Chicken. Proudly serving the city beautiful, Jam Hot Chicken is bringing jams, culture, and hot chicken to the heart of Winter Park and now Winter Garden as well. Jam Hot Chicken is a Nashville and LA-inspired hot chicken shack, locally owned and operated in Winter Park, Florida. And like I mentioned, now in Winter Garden. In Winter Park, they're located at 400 West New England Avenue, Suite 13 in Hannibal Square. And in Winter Garden, you can find them in the Plant Street Market. Check them out at Jam Hot Chicken on all social media. You can also find them at jamhotchickenfl.com. They have a brand new website that you can check out. You can find their menu, order online, and find all things Jam Hot. And now you can also find them on Uber Eats for delivery locally. So if you want that sweet heat of Jam Hot Chicken, but you don't want to leave the house, it's been a little cold lately. If you want to heat up with some Jam Hot Chicken, download the Uber Eats app, get it downloaded directly to your phone, and get your food delivered straight to your door. Jam Hot Chicken, they don't only support our show here because they love what we do. They do that because they're diehard Orlando Magic fans, and they truly love this fan community. So if you want to support local business, also support some diehard Magic fans, be sure to head over to Jam Hot Chicken. And when you do, when you get to checkout, whether it's online or in person, let them know, hey, I've got this code 6MAN, and it'll get you 10% off every single meal at Jam Hot Chicken. So stop by Jam Hot Chicken. Let them know that the boys over at the Six Man Show sent you. And now let's get back to our episode.
So let's talk now about the only game that we really have since the last episode. Obviously, the last episode was after the win, the very thrilling win over the Clippers on Sunday night, and then the Magic basically stayed in LA on Monday. AB got his braids done on Monday. It looked like the afro is gone again. The braids are back. And then they took on the Los Angeles Lakers.
Well, he got the hair done to go on NBA Today. That's why, because he was on ESPN. You saw that?
Did he have the hair done on ESPN?
Yeah,
he did. Okay,
yeah.
I honestly I did not watch the entire thing.
That's when I first noticed that. That's when I first noticed the hair was his ESPN. So hey, shout out AB is for at least since he's been in the NBA, his first feature on ESPN, had a little sit down with Malika Andrews and stuff. That was kind of cool. But anyway, carry on.
It's so weird for me, thinking oh, Anthony Black's on ESPN, but they're in LA. I was for years and years and years, just everything being out of Bristol. I was just so used to that. And now they have all the LA studio and all that kind of stuff. But so yes, Anthony Black on NBA Today, Magic in Staples Center. It's always going to be Staples Center to us. In Crypto.com Arena to take on the Los Angeles Lakers. And the Magic led early in the game 6-5 with 9 minutes, 33 seconds to go in the first quarter. Then the next possession, DeAndre Ayton is fouled, makes both free throws. And the Magic would not take the lead again until an 83-81 lead with 11 minutes, 4 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. And then this game was really just like back and forth the rest of the way. This game, Kevin, still somehow ended up with 13 lead changes. Even though we had a couple early on, we didn't have any until really the first couple of minutes of that fourth quarter. And then the Magic just like every time Luka or LeBron or, DeAndre Ayton would make a big play, it was Wendell Carter Jr., Desmond Bane, Paolo Banchero for the most part, kind of answering the bell and making the plays that were necessary, which cultivated in Wendell Carter Jr. Getting Paolo takes a jump shot with around 10 seconds to go. He misses it, ends up in Anthony Black's hands. Then it just kind of slips out, ends up in Wendell Carter Jr.'s hands. He goes up, gets fouled, by the way. That came out on the last 2-minute report today that it should have been a foul on Luka Doncic, so it should have been an and one. But Wendell Carter Jr. makes the layup to give the Magic that 110-109 lead with 6.7 seconds left. 6-7. And then Luka Doncic looked like he was going to pull up from 25, and I was like, oh, great, here we go. And then just kind of bizarrely passes it to LeBron on the left wing, and then LeBron kind of has to play hot potato and tries to throw it up over Jonathan Isaac as time expired, and that hit the glass and bounced off the rim, was no good. And the Magic escape with, again, the 110-109 victory in LA over the Clippers. Great performances out of Desmond Bane, 22 points, 9 of 19. Not the most efficient game, but really came on late, made a lot of big shots. One of the best games of the season, maybe the best game of the season out of Wendell Carter Jr., 20 points, 15 of those in the first half, 9 of 13 from the floor, 11 rebounds. Did most of his damage early on, and then in that second half, really until those last few minutes of the fourth, was just kind of had you wondering, like, okay, Dell had an awesome first half. Where has he gone? And he really did come up big in those last couple of minutes, especially with the game-winning shot. And I'm just going to say this about Paolo Banchero. I believe this was Paolo Banchero's best overall game of the season when you consider the way that he played on both ends of the floor. 36 points, 12 of 22, 2 of 6 from deep, 10 of 11 at the free throw line, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. Did have 4 turnovers, which you don't love. But there were a few possessions on Luka Doncic where Paolo was literally locked Luka down, especially down the stretch, came up with some big stops. Outside of that, Tristan, 13 points. He was 3 of 5 from deep. And the Magic really struggled to get a lot of help outside of those 4 guys. Like Anthony Black had 8 points. He was 4 of 13. Came up with the big rebound, towards the end of the game, had 3 steals in this one and 2 blocks. But offensively lately, like AB is starting to come back down to earth a little bit. Like, has been really struggling in games as of late, with the shot, finishing at the rim, even stuff like that. Magic have now won 4 in a row over the Los Angeles Lakers. You swept the double, or the LA double, as you called it, both of those games on the road in LA. And now both of these games, I think you were down 11 in the fourth to the Clippers and came all the way back. And the Magic were down as much as 12 in this one to the Lakers, came all the way back. This was also the very first loss of the season for the Lakers after they led after 3 quarters. They were 25-0. Coming into this game, they're now 25-1 in such games, thanks to our Orlando Magic. So just a couple of like dogfight, grind it out, gritty, scratch and claw, make plays down the stretch type of wins for the Magic in the last 2 against the LA teams.
Yeah, and honestly, like, what was that? What night was that? Tuesday night's game was obviously great, and it was one of the wins of the season, all that kind of stuff. But I was sitting there like, man, honestly, both of these LA games are 2 of the best wins of the season, and you got them in the span of 48 hours. Like, the Lakers are a better opponent for sure, obviously. But going back to the Sunday game, the circumstances were totally different. You were on the second night of a back-to-back, a travel back-to-back, going from Phoenix to LA. And the second night after a double overtime, buzzer beater, heartbreaking, blah, blah, blah game. And so like that game was special because it took like some mental fortitude and the ability to bounce back. And then you turn right around Tuesday with a tougher opponent, a team, the Lakers, that had just gotten blown out on Sunday by the Celtics as well. And so that's a team, like the Lakers were hungry for a win. There was no excuse for them. They weren't on the second night of a back-to-back. There wasn't like, no, they wanted to win this game. And you can tell by how much effort LeBron puts in to tell if a game's important. And he got off to a really hot start. Like he was locked in from the beginning. And so for me, this Lakers game is also super, super impressive. And so to see the team do it twice in 48 hours on the road to wrap up this road trip is just, again, it's so impressive. And going back to what we were talking about earlier with just the road trip in general, like it wasn't pretty. Like, don't get me wrong. Like there was no point in this game where you're like, oh yeah, the Magic are cruising, they're locked in, they're playing their best basketball. Like it didn't really happen. But in a game like that on the road against the Lakers, like you got to go into it with reasonable expectations. And if you can just come out with a win, it doesn't really matter how you got there. And this was one of those situations where the Magic played to their strengths. And what I loved about it, they made more plays down the stretch than the Lakers did. That's just the fact of the matter. Like you talk about Luka. Luka got the ball and froze. I couldn't believe it. Like, especially when he first got it and he had space. I know he was pretty far back, but we've seen Luka take those and make those. And so the fact that he got
a couple he had just made that were ridiculous.
Right. Yeah. And so like the fact that he froze and then dribbled and then froze again and then just hot potatoed it to LeBron, I was just like, oh my goodness, what is happening? So yeah, that was interesting. But regardless, you walk away with two really great wins in LA. And yeah, the Lakers one in particular was really special.
And I want to piggyback off of, what you said. Like, first of all, like the double overtime loss, had they just come out against the Clippers and like laid an egg, we all would have been annoyed, but I think everybody kind of would have just like chalked it up for the most part to like, yes, same kind of issues that we're dealing with, but they're also second night of a back-to-back on the road coming off the double overtime loss. We all kind of would have, I don't want to say excuse it, but maybe like swept it under the rug just a little bit to a certain extent. And they didn't do that. Like they came out, got a hard fought win. And in this one, there was a kind of an inflection point of the game where I really thought things were turning for the worse. Magic are up 3 points with 7 minutes, 30 seconds to go. And Paolo Banchero misses yet again what would have been like a statement dunk to put the Magic up 5 with 7 minutes to go. Instead, he misses that. And then Austin Reeves makes a floater and gets fouled, makes the free throw to tie the game up. Jonathan Isaac gets the big dunk to put the Magic back up 2. Then Tristan da Silva hits the 3. I think that was from like the right wing to put the Magic up 5. But then again, here come the Lakers. Ayton, who had a big game, he has a dunk. LaRavia hits a 3 to tie the game with less than 5 minutes to go. Doncic, he has that, what looked, the first one, like from the right side, looked like a 3, ended up being a 2 to give them a 2-point lead. Paolo hits a big 3 to give the Magic a lead. Doncic hits another 3. They take the lead back. AB makes the layup to tie the game up. And then it came down to Rui Hachimura hits a 3 with 2 minutes to go. That's legitimately when I thought the game was over, when they hit that 3 to go up with like 2 minutes to go. Paolo has that little, kind of flip shot, brings them within 1 with 1:18 to go. And then Desmond Bane, that's the next couple of possessions. LeBron gets fouled, makes the first free throw, misses the second one, splits those. Lakers are up 2. And then Paolo drives. LeBron left Desmond. He kicks it out to Desmond. He hits the 3 to give them the lead. And then for some reason on the inbounds play, I don't remember who it was, but somebody just leaves LeBron cutting to the rim, dunks it down, gives them a 1-point lead with 26 seconds to go. And then Paolo misses the jumper with 10 seconds to go. AB gets the rebound ends up in Wendell's hand, lays it in. Magic end up winning this game. To me, everything that you said is so perfect. The Magic are last 2 games, 2 of their biggest wins of the season. It feels like the last 8 games. I know we're talking about the Kings game, like really skewing things, but it feels like they're playing pretty close to their best basketball of the season right now. Outside of that early stretch when Paolo goes out and they went, what was it, like 7-3, without Paolo. We're getting pretty close to that. You're 6-2 in your last 8. You win another couple of games here. That's one of your in terms of wins and losses, one of your best stretches of the season. And to me, again, I thought this was Paolo's best, most complete game of the season, where from start to finish, he really looked like Paolo Banchero. Like, I don't think it's a coincidence that it was LA and he's playing against LeBron. And you think back to his rookie year where he played in LA, didn't play that well, and said, like, yeah, I kind of got, starstruck. Like, I was playing against LeBron James. It's not crazy that guys get up to play this team in this building. And he did. And I thought he was really good defensively, at stretches. Did a great job of sharing the basketball, rebounded the ball well, shot the ball really well. In the moments where we needed a bucket, he was the guy that usually was going and getting it, whether it was him or, Desmond Bane or Wendell in the, first part of the game as well. There's a lot of things to look at positively right now that the Magic are kind of trending in the right direction. As a matter of fact, if we take a look at the post All-Star numbers out of some of these guys, Desmond Bane is leading the team right now, 27.3 points per game. He's shooting 61% from the floor since the All-Star break and 50% from deep, adding 3.5 rebounds, 3 assists, and just under 2 steals. Paolo Banchero scoring 27 points a game, shooting 44% from the floor, but 43.8% from deep, 92% at the free throw line, adding 9 rebounds, 7 assists, and 1.3 blocks per game, just over 1.5 stocks per game. 27, 9, and 7 since the All-Star break for Paolo Banchero. And again, like, even defensively, he has been bringing it. So I'm not all the way back. I'm not, getting my hopes up. Like, if this team comes out and lays an egg, against Houston or, against, Detroit or Washington or Dallas, whatever, in the next week, I'm not going to be shocked just yet. But if they I'll say this, if they go out and they beat Houston and they beat Detroit, I'm back.
Right.
And expectations will once again change for this season. Not in any kind of dramatic way, but like, you beat Houston, you beat Detroit, and I'm saying, like, let's go get the 5 seed. Let's go get the 6 seed.
Yeah.
5 seed
things.
might be a little bit too far away, but definitely 6 seed. You beat those couple of teams. Yeah. And you've got enough to do it. So,
well, here's the thing. Mathematically, the 5 seed equals the 4 seed right now. They're pretty much locked, if I remember correctly. Or maybe it's the 4 and the 3 seed. That's the one that's locked.
3 and 4, or
that's what it is. Yeah, never mind. But okay, a couple things I want to run back over. The Desmond Bane 3 at the end of the game. I loved the 3. It was great. Dude ran his mouth with LeBron like an arm's length away. We have to acknowledge
your
that.
Head, boy.
Like, literally faced up to LeBron and screaming at him. I could not believe it. He's a psycho. Not that, like, LeBron's gonna, like, do anything, obviously, but it's just like, he's the king and he's respected by so many. But Desmond Bane said, "Screw that." Like, well, I mean,
Tobias Harris started jawing to LeBron once upon a time, and it didn't end up so well for us.
Also true.
I think the quote after the game was like, "Don't poke the bear." Well,
right.
This grizzly bear, he's got a little gray in that fur these days. He's not exactly the same guy.
That's right. So that absolutely cracked me up. That was hilarious. Secondly, I wanted to talk about one guy in particular that impressed me beyond the normal guys, right? Impressed me over these 2 LA games. It was Tristan da Silva for a couple reasons. Played well. That's great. Shot the ball well. That's great. Defended well. That's great. What impressed me about him, we talked about it a lot on Saturday. He had a stinker on Saturday in Phoenix. missed some shots that he would make 9 times out of 10 and really ended up costing the team. Not that he's the reason the Magic lost on Saturday. That's not what I mean. But you get him to knock down 1 or 2 of those wide open threes and the Magic win that game probably, right? So for him, I was just so impressed with the mentality of like bouncing back to where he, again, shot the ball so well Sunday and Tuesday in those big games, pressure-packed moments too, like hit some really clutch buckets in both of those games, played good defense. So I wanted to shout out Tristan as well.
13 points, 7.5 field goal attempts, 5.5 3-point attempts. He's shooting 53% from the floor, 54.5% from deep over the last 2. 4 rebounds, 2.5 assists, and a steal and a half. So 13 points, 53, 54, 100% splits in the last 2.
That's pretty good, Jonathan. That's pretty good.
Pretty solid.
And then going back to what you're saying about Paolo, what I loved about this game with Paolo, this was the first time in a long time where I felt like the midi was there.
Yeah.
Like he was knocking down those mid-range jumpers that we've become so accustomed to seeing him knock down before this season, right? Like seasons past, he gets to his spot, you know it's probably going to go down. This season, he has really struggled with that, with knocking down those shots that we've just seen him make so many times. For whatever reason, just hasn't worked. On Tuesday in LA, he was knocking those down with regularity, especially down the stretch, like in the second half, third, fourth quarter. Now, he missed the big one at the end, right? But fortunately for him, his team, rallied around with the AB offensive rebound and then the Wendell, bucket. So, but yeah, that's the other thing I want to say about Powell. Like he was
5 of 9 from the mid range in this one.
Yeah, he looked like it. And so yeah, I'll give him a lot of credit for that. But anyway, yeah, great stuff from Paolo for sure.
Yeah, I know we've talked about it at different points, and sometimes it's honestly felt like a losing battle just because people have been so negative, in regards to Paolo, just in like talking about trying to spread positivity and encouragement in his direction on social media. Whenever, you usually try to do that this season, people have just been so quick to, turn around with their fangs and venom out. That has really changed the last couple of days. There's a lot of like positive Paolo propaganda and stats being shared and stuff like that. And like the haters are very, very quiet, which I always, someone said something to me, on social media the other day. They accused me of like never admitting when I'm wrong, which is something that like I'm not a very prideful person, but like I pride myself on like, hey, if I'm wrong, like being able to put the hand up and be like, hey, I was wrong. Like I don't think people should be embarrassed or like be ashamed when they're wrong, because it's part of like the human experience. You are going to be wrong at some point.
Yeah.
And just being able to like accept that and like, move on from that and just whatever, I think is really important and just a good quality to have overall. So like, yeah, it really, really bothers me when people can't just put the hand up and be like, hey, you know what? Maybe I was wrong about this guy. And like, maybe, or not, you don't even have to do that, but be like, hey, criticize him a lot. He's playing really well. You just don't see any of that. When Paolo plays well, people are not Magic fans, not true Magic fans anyways. So many people, they just go completely silent when he plays well. But it's been really encouraging to see like there's been quite a few Magic fans that are making it a point to kind of, I don't want to say like be over the top with it, but kind of go like the extra mile in trying to show Paolo love and appreciation and encouragement, or just like simply like shout him out for playing good basketball. So just wanted to say good on Magic fans for doing that. Have definitely seen that and been encouraged by that, and obviously been encouraged by Paolo's play.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's the real ones never left. And look, there's always a difference between rooting for someone and also being able to like constructively criticize, right? Like the
keyword constructively.
Yeah, constructive. Paolo be the first to admit that he has not played to his standard this season, right? And so when real Magic fans which, by the way, we're not like the mouthpiece. Like, we aren't, the voice of real Magic fans, right? Like, we are just two dudes that are diehard Magic fans, and these are our opinions or whatever. We don't want to ever like sit here and say we speak up for the fan base. But like the real ones, they never get on the internet and clown the guy that's supposed to be your cornerstone, right? Like, that stuff was just weird. That was a weird segment of time, but I'm hoping that it's past us. I wish it never happened. But I'm hoping it's past us now, as it looks like Paolo is turning the corner and this team is turning the corner too.
I will disagree slightly. If you watch this guy the first 3 years and see the body of work that he was put together, and it was every other day we're saying he's on a list with LeBron James and Luka Doncic and Oscar Robertson and all these guys, like the first guy to do this since this guy, and so on and so forth, and see all of that, and then see him make the All-Star team and play the way that he did in the playoffs, and then be able to look at that and just be like, that kind of talent doesn't just go away out of nowhere without some type of like catastrophic injury. If you couldn't see all that and bring yourself to a point like mentally where you could cool down just a little bit to be like, okay, maybe it's not the end of the world with this guy, and just decide to be like, you know what, I am going to call out bad play or whatever, without just completely raking him over the coals. In my opinion, if you cannot do that with whatever we want to rank Franz and Paolo, 1A, 1B, I don't really care. But in terms of like culturally and the national perspective around the Magic, Paolo Banchero is the guy that has changed that. He's the face of the franchise kind of guy. He's the guy that you're going to market, like whatever you want to say, right? When it comes to those guys, when people look at the Magic, Paolo is the guy that they look at first. It's just the reality. It's their personalities. It's their play style. It's a lot of different things, but it is the reality. If you can't take this guy after everything we've been through as a fan base and how long like we've been waiting for like the what is it from like the Lisan Al Gaib, right? Like we're waiting for like the prince that was promised, right? As soon as that guy starts to struggle, you want to crap all over him. To me, that is not a real Magic fan. Right. I don't know if it's this, younger generation in terms of like they're more fans of like players than they are teams. And, it's funny to meme on people and you're trying to go viral. You're trying to get your engagement or your clicks or whatever it is. To me, that is not being a fan of what this team is and what this team stands for. So I don't like to be like the fan police. I know at times we can come across that way, but there's just like a certain level of like decency and like loyalty that you should have to your guys. And if you can't exhibit that, then I start to question like where your allegiance and like your interest really is. That might just be me.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, it's like if either you can't look back and be reminded of the previous 3 years body of work before this one,
and the previous 9 years before that,
right, but or you weren't around back then for that,
I think that's what it is more than anything.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of people that either they weren't around for the really, really bad times, or even they weren't around for this entire Paolo time, and it's just like the team has started to get a little bit better, and so people are coming back on the bandwagon, and so I don't know. It's weird, but again, I'm hoping that really, really ridiculous, couple weeks there is gone. Honestly, it was longer than a couple weeks, but it boiled over the last couple weeks. Hopefully that's gone and we can move on and have better days ahead.
If you, and I don't want to be like gatekeeping of like, oh, if you weren't here until the last couple of years or whatever, but like what the night that the Magic won the lottery in 2021, it wasn't just the prospect of getting a prospect like Paolo Banchero. It was like, we can finally turn the chapter on the previous 9 years. Like, we lost Dwight. We've been struggling all this time. We've got a few guys that we really believe in, like Franz and Jalen, and at the time, some other guys who are no longer here for the most part. But it's like, okay, now we're going to get like the piece that we can build all of this stuff around. And it's just like the level of like, I don't know how to describe it unless you were in that room that night. Like just true elation. I don't know that unless the Magic win a championship, I don't know the next time that I will have that feeling again. And like I get emotional just thinking about that night. I get emotional watching the videos from that night because it was that special of like we've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and now here is we're going to get the piece that we need to like really bring us forward. And everything that we've seen the last 3 years points to Paolo being able to be that guy. And it kills me that the minute this kid, it was like 2 months where he really struggled. He's just now finally like, it feels like getting back to like where he was before. Like January was okay. Like December was pretty rough. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. There were parts of January, obviously, that weren't great, but it was like, we're probably really talking about like 6 weeks here. Like we're talking about 6 weeks where the guy wasn't amazing. He was still averaging like 22 points and like 7 rebounds and like 5 assists during this time. The efficiency wasn't great, but like he had a quick breath of not being elite. And people were like, I'm out. Like to me, that is not being a real fan of your team.
Yeah. Maybe I'll put in the either a card on the YouTube video here. Maybe we'll put it in the description. We'll put the 2022 draft lottery video that we put out way back then, just to get those reactions.
It was 22. You're right.
That was a really really
don't watch the
night.
21 draft lottery.
Yeah, we have that
don't
too.
Watch that one. We do have that one.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, the 22 draft lottery was like, if you take away the important things of life, like family, faith, whatever, it's one of my favorite nights of my life. Like those things removed, like it's up there. It was really, really special.
That was really like one of the, and this is going to sound, maybe weird to some, but like, COVID hit and everything. That was one of the first times since COVID that I was like really around that many people, like no masks, like some people were wearing masks, but for the most part, no masks. And then just like beer flying everywhere, the floor completely sticky and slippery, and like literally random strangers hugging one another, jumping up and down, like a bunch of grown men. For the most part, grown men. There were, obviously ladies there as well. But like for the most part, a bunch of grown men quite literally reverted back into children for, a 10, 15 minute window there. And like, I do feel like the kid has brought what we were promised with the number 1 overall pick. Not every moment has been perfect and things like that. But when you look at his body of work and what he's done and what he's brought this franchise, and we were like, okay, this is the kind of pick that brings you back into contention. And I think without Paolo Banchero being on this roster and doing what he's done the last couple of years, this front office doesn't make the move to bring in Desmond Bane, which is supposed to kind of push the chips in and get you to contention. Yeah. So when we say like, don't forget where this franchise was, or when, Paolo Banchero's mom like hints at like, hey, don't forget where this franchise was. And people want to say, oh, we're a play-in team, whatever. Look, we're exactly where we were in 2019 when we were the 7th seed in 2019. It's like, yeah, but that was like, we all knew that was the best that team was ever going to be. And we've been sitting here saying all season, like, as frustrated as we are, like, this is as bad as this team is going to be. Yeah. And they're a half game out of the 6th seed right now. Mm-hmm. They haven't been healthy all year. Like, if you can't, look and see the difference between like the ceiling of the 2019 team and the floor of this team, then quite frankly, you don't know ball, and I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's and you just got to remind yourself too, he's 23. Like we're still 3, 4, maybe even 5 years away from true prime Paolo. And so like, yeah. Consider me still all in on P5 for sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to again, I don't want to make the direct like 1-to-1 comparisons of LeBron and Paolo. In LeBron is, kind of a different handle. 30 points a game, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, shot 48% from the floor, 31% from deep. But like, it was the 22 age season that he brought the Cavs to the finals and they got swept. But like, again, I'm not saying Paolo Banchero is LeBron James. I'm not saying that. But like LeBron James, who had, all of the hype in the world, like dragged his team to the finals and then like got completely swept. And until he won the title in, what was that, 2012, like people had tons of questions about LeBron James and whether or not he could ever be the guy to bring you a championship and yada, yada, yada. Again, probably poorly timed comparison on my part by bringing LeBron James into this conversation. To be quite fair, I'll take the L on that. But it just goes to show you, like, it takes time for guys to get to their peak. Like,
Yeah.
I think Steph was 27 or 28. Michael Jordan was 27 or 28 when he won a title. Like, Paolo is nowhere near his prime right now.
Yeah.
And that's always been the dumb thing, not to cut you off, but like people acting like this guy is just not going to continue to get better.
Well, you can say it wasn't fair to bring in LeBron to this conversation. All I know is Paolo is 1-0 against LeBron this year. So
True.
I'll just take that. LeBron can hold that L. So
I mean, we've got 4 in a row over the Lakers. Like,
Yep.
Paolo's probably got pretty close to like a 500 record against LeBron and the Lakers.
Yeah. Four goes back a season and a half, right? So that means they swept them last season and then won the last one the year before. So yeah, probably. It's pretty good.
But the one last year in LA, Paolo wasn't playing.
He didn't play. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the Franz.
But he was still part of the franchise, so we'll give it to him.
We'll count it. Okay, let's take a gander at the week ahead here. The game is in this.
We've already done the week ahead for this week. This is our midweek show,
You're right. Oh,
yeah, we already picked it. But yeah,
we can change your mind at all.
Oof. No, I'm going to stick with it. Because remember what I said? I said we're beating Detroit on Sunday. And I'm sticking with that.
I love that.
Yeah. I think you picked the Rockets, though, right?
3-0. I think I did. I think I said we would beat the Rockets, but now I'm saying 3-0. I'm changing my pick.
3-0.
Yeah.
3-2. Oh, wait. 3-0 because you're talking about the Lakers game. I got you.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. You're going 3-0. That's pretty good. No, I'll stick with the Magic being the Pistons because why the heck not? We talked about it. This Rockets game Thursday is the second night of a back-to-back for Houston, which we were like, oh, that's awesome. Maybe that'll help the Magic out. Houston was up by 27 at the half Wednesday night against Sacramento. So not really much of a back-to-back situation for them. I'm sure they rested a ton of guys in the second half.
Actually, no.
No?
Şengün, 32 minutes. Reed Shepherd, 32 minutes. Kevin Durant a little bit, played 28. Jabari Smith Jr. played 33 minutes.
Oh, wow.
I mean, yeah, like Aaron Holiday got 20 minutes. Josh Okogie, who, is a rotation guy for them, played 24 minutes. But like, some guys played like some decent minutes still, which is like kind of a interesting decision. And
they got to fly from Houston to Orlando tonight. So yeah, maybe it'll help a little bit, but for the Magic, it's just tough because this game is less than 48 hours after playing in Los Angeles. Not having an extra day of rest is going to be tough. But regardless, I think it's a game that the Magic can win. And like you said, if they win tonight, it's going to get interesting. And golly day, if they win on Sunday, look out. Look out. Because Magic fans, if we talked about Magic fans imploding earlier, Magic fans can do the opposite. Like we're gonna start being a little bit obnoxious if the Magic find a way to win these.
Which would make
games.
us at that point 2-1 over the Pistons.
That's right. Yep, because we split the first two.
Yeah, with one remaining,
right. Which would be big for the 1 seed tiebreaker later.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's definitely what will happen. I'm trying to look at the box score and see how much those guys played in the second half. Of course, like individual box score data is not available from the NBA, even though they have all of the information already loaded into their database. And, it's something that should be pretty easy for them to update, but multi-dollar company like the NBA can't figure that out for some reason. But that's neither here nor there.
Yep.
Okay, then I think that's really it, unless there was anything else that you felt really impassioned about and wanted to have a conversation on here.
Not a thing. I just need to get some sleep because I'm still feeling the 1 a.m. finish time and the 1:45 a.m. post-game live finish time from the LA game. So I'm ready to go to bed.
Yeah, and I didn't even really get caught up on sleep from Sunday night.
Right.
After that, so.
But hey, the last late night games of the year, we're done. So love that.
Thank goodness.
Until the finals.
Yo, and really quickly, can we just talk about how many people stayed up to hang out on the post game lives and interact with the chat? Over 150 people in each of those, which is really just insane. So I appreciate you all so much. Once again, watch party, Stadium Club, March 7th, tip-offs at 3:00. Make sure that you do your RSVP. The link will be in the show notes and in the description on YouTube. And then the Court of Dreams. Again, as we're recording this Wednesday night, there's 14 tickets left. So if you're hearing this, Thursday morning, there's a chance that those might already be gone. So be sure to check that out. And that is going to do it for this one. For Kevin Tucker, this has been Jonathan Osborne. You all have been listening to the Sixth Man Show, and we will catch you guys next time. See ya.
Thanks for listening to the Sixth Man Show. Be sure to subscribe on iTunes and Spotify to get new episodes downloaded directly to your phone. If you enjoyed the show, please take a minute to give us a 5-star rating and a review. It helps out the show a lot. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Sixth Man Show. We'll catch you guys next time. Go Magic!